The Vanishing at Black Hollow. The train hissed into the station like a serpent through mist, and Elara Whitlock stepped off as though stepping into a memory she didn't know she had. Black Hollow was smaller than she remembered, not in size, but in spirit. The buildings leaned as if tired of holding their own weight. Streetlights flickered even though there was no wind. And the silence, it pressed in like a hand to the throat. She hadn't been back in over a decade. Her mother's funeral had brought her, but the letter that followed it, that's what kept her here. A single envelope, sealed with wax, signed not by a person but by a place. Whisper House, the house she'd grown up in, the house they said was cursed. Her mother had told her stories about the Hollow, that it had its own rules, that it remembered things even when people forgot, that some truths weren't meant to be uncovered. But something inside Elara, something buried and restless, knew the past was calling, not to be remembered, but to be claimed. The Whisper House stood on the edge of town, exactly where she'd left it, except different. It looked preserved, but not by time, more like a photo left too long in the sun. Familiar, but faded in the wrong ways. Inside, dust clung to air like it had weight. Furniture was exactly as it had been, every book on every shelf untouched. Only the grandfather clock had moved, its hands spinning wildly as if time itself was unmoored. And then there was the door that hadn't been there before. A brass key hung on a red thread from a hook on the wall. Beneath it, a note in her mother's handwriting. Only memory can open it. Only truth can close it. Elara took the key, and the door, one she had no memory of, creaked open to reveal a small room. Inside, nothing but a desk, a mirror, and a single journal. She opened it. The first page read, "You are not who you think you are." The days that followed blurred. Nightmares clawed at her sleep. A girl running through the woods, screaming without sound. Always the same woods. Always the same girl. Elara followed the only lead she had. The name in the journal, Ivy Blackmore. A girl who had vanished 13 years ago in Black Hollow. No body, no trace, just gone. But the more Elara searched, the more things didn't add up. Local records had holes. People stammered when she mentioned the name. One old librarian finally pulled her aside. "Ivy was your best friend," she whispered. "You were with her the night she vanished." "I would have remembered that." "Would you?" the woman asked. "Would you, if remembering meant losing who you are now?" Everything led her back to the forest. A map hidden in the journal revealed a trail deep into the Hollow's woods, to a place locals didn't speak of, a well, covered in ivy and thyme. She climbed down, heart pounding, flashlight flickering. What she found beneath was not dirt or stone, but mirrors, dozens of them, lining a circular chamber, and in each mirror, herself. But not as she was, slightly off, expressions that didn't match. One crying, one smirking, one staring blankly back. Then one spoke. "You live my life," it said. "You took my name, my face. You are Elara only because I became Ivy." And suddenly, everything fell into place. The summer before Ivy vanished. The strange rituals they'd played in the woods. The whispered promises. The blood pricks on fingers in the chant. Share soul, share skin. Begin again. They had done it for fun. But the forest had listened, and it had chosen. Elara staggered back, her head spinning. Memories poured in. 2 girls holding hands. Laughter, then screams. One girl chasing, one slipping, falling into darkness. Only one came back. And when she did, she was someone else. Back in the mirror chamber, the air thickened. The reflections closed in. Elara's flashlight died. Silence pressed like stone. Then she saw her, the real Ivy, or what was left of her, pale, transparent, waiting in the glass. "You can leave," Ivy whispered, "but only one of us can." "I never meant to take your life," Elara said. "But you did." "I didn't remember." "You do now." There was no way to undo it. Only a choice. Take back what was hers, or give up for good. Elara placed her hand on the glass. "Let's end this." In a final flash of cold light, she stepped into the mirror, And for a moment, everything inside her unraveled. Screams, laughter, memories colliding. Then silence. When she woke, she was lying outside the forest, the sun rising over Black Hollow. But things had changed. The townspeople no longer recognized her. Her name was gone from every record. Elara Whitlock no longer existed. She looked in a window's reflection. A face stared back. Not Ivy, not Elara. Someone new, a life rewritten. And behind her eyes, the Hollow watched. Because some places don't just hide secrets. They become them.